Alright guys, it's Saturday, December 12th. Today is the last day of expanded archery and the last day of muzzleloader, so basically the end of deer hunting season today. I haven't really gotten out much in the last couple weeks. We got a big snowstorm last Saturday and I lost power for 4 days, so I couldn't really go anywhere. I had to keep the generator going to keep the chest freezer going and all that stuff and keep the house heated. So, and then I had a bunch of stuff I need to get done at work, so I didn't really get a chance to get out after power came back on and everything this week. So this is it for me. Chuck's sitting about, I don't know, probably a few hundred yards down the hillside. I just wandered around for about an hour and a half trying to figure out what tree I wanted to set up in, but I got in a pretty good spot here. I got kind of a mixed woods around me, but there's a lot of oak trees and there's just deer tracks everywhere, so hopefully we can get something done today. Because the only deer we have in the freezer is Jacob's doe that he shot on Youth Day, so that's not going to last all year, that's for sure. But we'll hang out and see what happens. Well, I've only been sitting for about an hour, hour and a half. I haven't seen anything but squirrels and chipmunks yet, but somebody just touched off a muzzleloader several hundred yards down over the hill in front of me, but hopefully that'll get some deer moving around. Either to me or Chuck would be nice. Be nice for somebody to drop something today. Well, it's been about 5 minutes since I heard that last shot, and I just heard another one right down over the hill, just a few hundred yards probably away. So deer are definitely moving around the area. I saw a lot of tracks coming in, so it's kind of random. Not really any beaten trails right here, but there's just random tracks everywhere, like they've been in there feeding on acorns and stuff, so. Hopefully where these shots are getting closer to me, that means the deer are getting closer to me. I just had, I'm pretty sure it was 3 doe, come right up through this line of thick stuff right next to me. That one doe stood about 50 yards out, but I had so much stuff in the way, there's no way I could have taken a shot at her. I was kind of hoping they were going to circle around behind me and I probably could have got a shot, but they ended up going up the hill and they actually kind of headed towards Chuck, so hopefully he'll see them and get a shot. But it's good, deer moving around, so hopefully something comes close enough to shoot at. We'll see. Still a lot of acorns hanging on up there. Good. Alright, well, it's almost noontime now. I haven't seen anything since those few deer went up the hill earlier. That was at least a couple hours ago. All the snow's melting and falling off the trees, making all kinds of noise. But on the way in, I crossed a few skid roads that were pretty tracked up and being heavily traveled by the deer, so I think this afternoon I've probably got a better chance of going and sitting on one of those kind of off the back of one of these fields up behind me. And hopefully the deer later this afternoon will, when they do get up, I think they probably those deer probably bedded down. They headed towards Chuck, and he never saw them, so I don't know if they bedded down between us somewhere. But I'm going to head up the hill and try to find a pretty heavily used trail. I saw a few of them on the way in here. The tracks in here are just kind of scattered, so I think I'd rather get on a more established route, have a better chance of having something come by. So I'm going to get packed up and hike up over the hill. Alright, well, it's about 1 o'clock. I ended up packing up, heading up the hill, and kind of back south down the hillside towards Chuck. We're still probably probably 300 yards apart, but I was actually standing over here about 40 yards from where I am, looking around for a tree. This looked like a good spot. I can actually hear traffic. I'm probably only about 200 yards from the road also. But I got walking over here and down this little tote road in front of me that ends up in the back corner of this field. And I just jumped a buck, was bedded literally 15 yards in front of this tree that I'm sitting in now. I don't know where he went. He must have crossed the road because he ran back towards the road, and I was watching, waiting for him to go across the field out there, but he never did. So I don't know if he like ran up close to the road and bedded back down, or if he just took right off across the road. But like I said, Chuck is probably like 300 yards back behind me on the other side of the field, and he just sent me a message 5 minutes ago and said there's a doe feeding up through the middle of the piece that he's sitting in, headed toward the field. So we got about 3 hours to get it done, so hopefully something happens for somebody. Well, I guess that's going to pretty much do it for the 2020 deer season. It's probably about a half an hour till the end of legal shooting time, but it's cooled off considerably in the last hour, and Chuck sent me a message probably an hour ago and said he was going to get down, pack his stuff up, and walk up over the hill and sit on the ground somewhere, so he's probably cold. But I can't complain. Wasn't a bad season. Saw a lot of deer. Jacob shot his first deer with a bow. Chuck shot his first 2 deer with a bow. I screwed up a lot of shots with my bow. I should have shot some deer, but that's the way it goes anyway. But ice fishing season's coming up soon. Probably going bobcat hunting a couple times with Kyle anyway. And then before you know it, it'll be turkey season. So, but yeah, I guess we're gonna pack it up and get out of here. By the time we get wrapped up and walk out of here, it'll be pretty much dark anyway. So we'll see you around.